The IODE Robin Hood Chapter Bursary, presented by Mrs. Renata Schagel to Catherine Ann Craig. The IODE Shannon Chapter Bursary, presented by Mrs. Joyce Mosier to Sheila Janet McLean. For the next awards, I would ask the following students to assemble in the front of the stage and come up individually. Carrie Christian, Elise Shelley McKinnon, Tamara Lee Stone, Corey Gordon Tynes, Audrey Diane Verge, Andrew John Woods. These are the John McNeil Bursaries, the Farrell Benevolent Society, and I would ask Mr. Jack George if he would please make the presentations. Carrie Kristen. Elise McKinnon. Tamara. Corey. Audrey. And Andrew John Woods. The John Martin Junior High Student Council Bursary, presented by Mr. Bernard Malone to William Arthur Tate. And the Kinsman Dartmouth Bursary, presented by Mr. Robert Lelive to Karen Robin Ross. I would now like to call upon Mr. Duncan MacLeod to continue with the scholarship and bursary presentations.
The next bursary, the Knights of Columbus, St. Clement's Parish, presented by Mr. Leo McRoberts to Ryan Jack. The Arnold Langell Bursary, presented by Mr. Arnold Langell to Ryan Jack. The Legion Psalm Centennial Scholarship, presented by Mr. Bob Benjamin to Melissa Lynn Shaw. The next bursary has 3 recipients. This is the Lions Club of Dartmouth Bursaries, presented by Mr. Bob Douglas to Young Bui. James Guilford. Angela Lee Nicholson. The Kendon Matheson Memorial Bursary, presented by Mr. Robert Pembroke to Leanne Gowland. The Northbrook Home and School Association Rosemary Boutelier Bursary, presented by Miss Rosemary Boutelier to Stanley Darren King. The Nova Scotia Freemason Scholarship, Cedric G. Mitchell, presented by Mr. Hugh Rathbun to Mary Ellen Long. The Nova Scotia Freemason Scholarship, John Albro Lodge, presented by Mr. Max Ingram and Mr. Raymond Gray to Cassandra Lee Ware. The Nova Scotia Freemason Scholarship, Wentworth Lodge, 108, presented by Mr. George Grant to Sheldon E. Brown. The Nova Scotia 1995 Entrepreneur Scholarship Award. Congratulations by Mr. D. Spell to David Roman Christoph. Would the following students please assemble by the steps? Allison Marie Chisholm, Jane Elizabeth McConaughey, Christopher Joseph McDonald, Mary Ann Marguerite Mader, Michael Eugene Mader, David Raymond McCarthy, Derek Raymond McCarthy, Catherine Marie Patterson, Jamie George Rendell, David Laurie Rice Smith, Corinne Mary Vivian. This is the Nova Scotia Teachers Union Dartmouth Local bursary presented by Mr. Francis Lafort. Allison. Jane. Chris. Marianne. Michael. Derek. Catherine. Jamie. David. And Corey. The next bursary, the Park Greenvale bursary, presented by Mr. John Nemo to Jin Hing Yi and Tanya Alana Wagner. The Basil Pellerin Memorial Scholarship presented by Mrs. Brenda Beeler to Sarah Jane McNeil. The Lowell Phillips Memorial Scholarship presented by Mr. Ashley L. Phillips to Leanne Gowland. Prince Arthur Junior High School bursary presented by Ms. Colleen O'Connell to Victoria Ann Flynn. The Rotary Club of Dartmouth bursary presented by Mr. Gordon Welch to Andrea Mary Chazon. The Seroptimus Youth Citizenship Award presented by Ms. Helen M. McBride to David Laurie Rice-Smith. The South Woodside Community Bursary, presented by Mrs. Marg Walton and Mr. Wayne Summers to Andrea Mary Chasson and Angela Lee Nicholson. Thank you.
The list goes on and on. You folks are doing such a great job. I would like now to introduce Mr. Wayne Kovidak, who will look after the presentations of certificates. And he gets to stand up, so I think everybody else should too. Right? Do you feel like you want to stand up? Because we're going to start presenting certificates and there's a lot of folks. So if you need a stretch, I'd say now's your chance. No, they did it this afternoon. Wayne, you're on next. Okay. I learned that from a teacher at Notting Park School. Stretches in the middle of assemblies make it easier to sit still. Mr. Kovidak, you're on.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would like to present the following students for graduation. Row 1, please come forward. I would ask Miss Denise Bell to present the certificates and Mr. Danny Brownlow to please present the graduation pins. I will be reading the names of the students, and following that I will be mentioning honors and high honors. An honors pass is an average of 80 in English, plus 4 others, with no mark less than 70. A high honors is an average of 90 in English, plus 4 others, with no mark less than 80. Please refrain from clapping until everyone is across the stage. Lori Suzanne Akins, in absentia. Rui Amaral. Cheryl Elsie Anderson. Jeff Anderson. Apostolos Paul Angelopoulos, honors pass. Colin Atkinson. Stephen William Awal. Michael Ayoub. Bailey. Jason Andrew Baker. Robin Lee Balser. Jody Barkhouse, in absentia. Thomas Barton, honors pass and a university entrance scholarship. Mary Ellen Baisley, in absentia. Marnie Binez. Michael Batar, in absentia. Krista Blight, high honors pass. Andrew Bork. Aaron Bork. Crystal Lynn Boutlier. Adam Robert Bowser. Serena Amber Brandon, in absentia. Robert Andrew Brown. Dallas Brown, in absentia. Ian David Brown. Kevin Brown. Sheldon A. Brown, a high honors pass and a Technical University of Nova Scotia scholarship, $1,000 renewable. Matthew Brownlow, high honors pass, St. Mary's University scholarship, $2,050. Young Bowie, honors pass. Troy Byers. I would like to thank Mr. Brownlow, and I'd ask Mr. John Chisholm to come forward to present pins. Sarah Capstick. Jose Cadera, in absentia. Nadia Carroll, in absentia. Scott Carver. Andrea Mary Chesson, honors pass. Delia Elizabeth Chalk. Heather Ann Chenall, honors pass. Donnie Chevery, in absentia. Allison Marie Chisholm. Carrie Christian. Aaron Kleik. Jeremy Cockaday in absentia. Tyler Compton, honors pass. Jason Corkum in absentia. Catherine Ann Craig, honors pass. Stephanie Crane in absentia. Paul Freeman Kramer. David William Doms. Nancy David. Bobby Davies in absentia. Daffet Alexander Davies, honors pass. Mark Alexander Davis. Daniel Jonathan Day. Danny Deneau. Wanda Mae Desmond in absentia. Lisa Marie Devereaux. Gregory James DeWolf.